All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando, and I just through the Spirit decided to do a pre-recorded video. Like I said in the live, if you call it the live, just dealing with a lot of dealing with a lot of elements and whatnot. So Lord willing, we get through this. But basically, what I was touching on was something spiritual took place before camp this past yesterday, today being Sunday. All right, so yesterday, before camp, usually the elder bro Azaria, he has his he comes first. He has several posters, the signs and whatnot, and some of the signs that he has posters up a pair, because the brother, the elder, he usually posts his the posters, the signs strategically, and a pair of the signs that he usually has posted is an image of the so-called white man, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. He usually has that poster, that sign with the devil horns, and typically under that is the true depiction of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right, but the true depiction of who the world calls Jesus, his name is Yahweh Shai, and he's a so-called black man. All right, so outside of the like I said, the elder bro usually has several signs posted, but those two images, those two posters, typically a lot of people see, and immediately they flock to the image of the so-called white man, the image of Cedric Borgia, which the world knows as Jesus Christ. All right, with the devil horns, and being that these people, man, they're so infatuated with the so-called white man. And I'm talking about 2/3 of our people, because for the most part, the rest of the world, the other nations, they are waking up to the fact that Esau, the so-called white man, is a devil that the scriptures speak about, right? If not, then who is he? All right, who else? It's really, again, 2/3 of our people. They're the ones that they don't have a clue. All right, they're just lost in the sauce. So the fact that the Spirit has it to where His men are out there boldly professing and proclaiming through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai in the belly of the beast. We're in this devil's kingdom, telling him that he's going down, he's going into slavery. All right, but that type of attitude, it brings fear to the jig, because they have that Stockholm syndrome. They love the so-called white man. All right, and I was touching on this in a live. Like I said, I just went ahead and just did a pre-recorded, video. Isaiah 51, starting at verse, Isaiah 51 in verse 12. Yeah, Isaiah 51 and 12. I, even I, am he that comforteth you. Who art thou, that thou shouldest be afraid of man, that shall die, and of the Son of Man that should be made as grass. So you see, because it doesn't matter how long, how big, how tall the grass gets. Eventually that shit gets mowed down. Eventually that shit gets cut down. All right, and as much as 2/3 of our people, they prop the so-called white man up. All right, propping the so-called white man up as if he's God. All right, as if he's the Most High. Eventually Yahweh Shema Shai is going to show that, hey, he's nothing but a man. All right, as a matter of fact, I don't even give him that much respect, because he's less than a man. Hell, they consider us three-fourths or three-fifths of a man, or whatever it is, you know. Hey, in the kingdom to come, the so-called white man, hey, a pile of shit is gonna have more worth and value than the so-called white man. All right, because Esau, he's returning to his natural estate, being the basis of men. All right, and the Lord's going to show that. All right, because Esau, Salaki, Jake has forgotten. Like it goes on to tell you in verse 13, it says, "And forgettest Yahweh thy maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where is the fury of the oppressor?" So you see, again, Yahweh Shema Shah, he's going to show that, hey, you know, as much as, again, mainly 2/3 of our people, they fear the so-called white man as the Most High, as God. All right, Yahweh Shema Shah is going to show that, hey, man, this pink bitch, man, this pink devil, he ain't nothing. He ain't nobody. All right. And you know, I've been speaking on more and more how, because I've been meditating on that Hosea, man. You know, it talks about how the Lord has a controversy with the land, right? Because part of the controversy that the Lord has with his people, part of that bone that the Lord is going to pick with 2/3 of our people, you know. And we seen that this past Saturday, you know, yesterday before camp. Because again, getting into it, you had this young Jake, you know, he had to be between the ages of what, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 at the most, you know. Somewhere between that age range. All right. And he came up. Because again, usually the elder bros, Azaria, he's usually out there, and he has a sign post, all the signs posted, you know. So he's usually out there. But you had one Jake, you know. It was just me and him. So you know, waiting for the other brothers to come, you know. And you had this little Jake, you know, knucklehead Jake, man, you know, come up. And he asked, it was something along the lines of, because immediately, and that's the point of this video, he immediately bypassed the image of Yahweh Shai, right, and went to the image of Cedric Borgia. Like I said, the brother, the way that he has a sign set up, you know, it's all strategic, you know. Like I said, the other bro, he has several signs, and a pair of the signs, he has the image of Cedric Borgia, who the world calls Jesus, with the devil horns, you know. And immediately people see that, and you know, you can see the fear, you can see the spirit, you know. They get afraid because they think that this man is God, you know. They think he's the Most High. But under that image, it's the true depiction of who the world calls Jesus, which is a so-called black man, according to the scriptures, or Yahushua. All right. So the brother usually has those specific images, you know, Cedric Borgia, and under that it's the true depiction of Yahushua. And make no mistake about it, because people are quickly, oh, see, the scriptures say you're not supposed to make any graven image. And listen, we don't worship these images. All right. Again, it's just a depiction. All right. We're not bound down to any of these images or anything like that. It's just a depiction according to the scriptures. So the elder brother, has an image of who the world calls Jesus. All right. With the devil horns, you know, and under that is a picture of Yahushua. The depiction of Yahushua according to the scriptures. All right. But people immediately, and we see this all the time, you know, like I said, that's the whole point of this video. Jake specifically, they bypass Yahushua, the image of Yahushua, and they go to the image of Sejuro Borgia, aka who they call Jesus Christ. You know, and all the times I ask, well, damn, why do y'all have an image of Jesus with the devil horns? And because this man is a devil. He is the devil. If not, then who is he? You know, that man of sin. If it's not the so-called white man, who is he? Is it Japhet? You know, hey, Japhet is chilling right now. All right. Who is it? Who's the devil? Who's that man of sin? Who is the son of perdition? Who is he? Where and who is he? All right. So getting back into it. You had the young Jake come up. He stood there for a minute or so, and again bypassing the true depiction of Yahushua, and immediately he went to the image of Sejuro Borgia, and he asked, how much are y'all selling that song? How much is this for? And he was pointing to the image of Sejuro Borgia. He was pointing to the image of Jesus Christos. All right. He was pointing to the image of Jesus Christ. And he asked, basically he asked, how much are y'all selling that for? Because he thought we were just, I'm assuming he thought we were vendors. You know, because again, we hadn't gotten started with camp yet. Like I said, the elder bro, he's usually out there and he already has the signs posted, the 12 tribes, the chart posted, you know, and you know we're just waiting. We're just there waiting for other brothers to come so we can start camp. You know, so you know sometimes we're just there and we're just waiting. The brother already has the signs posted and whatnot. So. Like I said, this young Jake, he came up and he asked, he pointed to the image of Sejuro Borgia with the devil horns, and he asked, he was inquiring, how much are y'all selling the image for? How much is that for? And he was pointing. He was literally pointing. You know, he was like, how much? Because again, he assuming he thought we were vendors or something. You know, because across the street. And this might have nothing to do with it, you know, but usually we do the split camp, you know, because what we got as far as the camp, you know, I think it's 8 brothers in total, you know, and oftentimes, you know, just to give brothers enough room to speak, you know, build their confidence up. We usually do the split camp, you know. So oftentimes, if we get enough brothers, if all the brothers come, we'll do the split camp. We'll go right across the street, you know. But even before that, brothers been teaching, you know, in this area, you know. You know, and it's all spiritual because, you know, hey, it's just that light, you know. Don't really take it personal. You know, just understanding, hey, this is just what comes with it, because like I said, and we dealt with this before, you know. You have brothers from you had men from another camp teaching where we teach at, you know. And again, the elder bro, you know, that's just his spirit, you know, as far as you know, you know, asking these men that build on another man's foundation, you know, the big bro Azaria, he's gonna you know, say something about it. You know, he's gonna call you out on it. You know, because we dealt with this before, and hey, the brother was cool with it. You know, the brother might be one of the hopefully elect. You know, because you know he's a part of another camp, but he was you know, teaching where we teach at. You know, so we dealt with this before, and I'm sure brothers dealt with this even before, you know. But nevertheless, we dealt with this again last night. You know, the brother, the other big bro had to ask the brothers as far as, you know, well, pretty much, why are you building on another man's foundation? You know, because like again, they're right across the street where we teach at. You know, so you know, with all that being said, again, you know, It's like I lost my train of thought. I got a lot of distractions, so bear with me. I'm kind of all over the place, but nevertheless, getting back into it. Dealing with this young Jake, you know, because again, it goes to show you the mindset of 2/3 of our people. You know how much they love the so-called white man. You know how much they love their massa. You know, that Stockholm syndrome. You know, because seeing that it bothered. It was messing with my spirit all night. You know, during the whole camp. You know, had the young Jake come up and immediately bypassed Yahushai and inquire for Jesus Christos. You know, Jesus Christ, which even uttering those names, it's like nails on a chalkboard. You know, I hate Jesus Christ. All right, I hate even uttering those names. I hate Jesus Christ. I'm so sick of this shit, man. I'm so, you know, Jesus Christ has not done a damn thing for our people but keep our people in slavery, keep our people in a docile, dumbed down state of mind, man. I'm so sick of Jesus. I hate Jesus Christ. You know, I hate Esau. You know, and that's why it's frustrating when it comes to Jake. Here it is, truth is out here. You know, the truth is out here. The cat is out the bag. Hey, Yahushai. You know, he's the king. But our people want to cling on to this fucking devil. You know, it's aggravating. And immediately, you know, when this whole shit happened, you know, because I told brothers, hey man, because you know I always say, I've always said, you know, because hey, imagine coming back 3 to 4 generations from now, and we had to come back through the loins of these boneheaded ass Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. I don't even call them so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, because that's what they are. Our people want to be black. They want to be Hispanic. They want to be Seminole Indians, Native American Indians. They want to be Haitians. And let them have it. You know? Let them have it. But the thing is, if we had to come back 3 to 4 generations from now through the loins of these niggas, and I was a perfect example of this little boneheaded ass Negro. You know? Boneheaded ass, you know, nappy-headed ass boy. You know, immediately he bypassed the Yahushai and he was inquiring for Jesus Christos, Cedric Borgia. You know, and I told brothers, imagine 3 to 4 generations from now, if that was one of our fathers, man. Like, damn. You know? But again, it just goes to show you the mindset of our people. They love massa. They love the so-called white man. They love being in the Stockholm syndrome. They love him. They love Jesus Christ. Fuck Jesus Christ. I said this before. You know, every time I had to utter those words of Jesus Christ, man, I'm going to make it a point and throwing in the fuck Jesus Christ. Fuck Jesus. Fuck Jesus Christ. I hate this cracker, man. I hate these devils. I'm so sick of these people. And that's why 2/3 they're gonna have to die with his ass too. For fuck's sake. When has Jesus ever done anything for our people? Anything good for our people, man? Like, god damn. But here it is, you got a young nappy-headed, bone-headed ass Negro. Alright? Couldn't have been more than 12, 13. Immediately he bypassed the Yahushai and he was inquiring for Jesus Christ. Talking about how much. And he was pointing at the image. Like, how much y'all selling? Because he asked how much. Me and bro was looking like, what do you mean? Because immediately in my mind I'm thinking, when the scriptures talk about, you know, you buy the truth and sell it not, you know, Hey, this truth, hey, it's supposed to be for free, you know. All those that thirst, hey, come receive this water. Come, you know. Immediately these scriptures are coming into my mind. But like I said, that's why I assume he thought we were vendors or something. And that's why I mentioned the cats across the street, and they bugged out because the nigga the nigga teaching in Shiva Jatas, and you know they got the wife and kids out there. The nigga ain't got no camera, so I mean, you know, maybe he thought, you know, we were correlated or whatever. I don't know, you know, but nevertheless, you know, the little nigga, obviously he thought we were vendors or something like that, because he thought we were selling shit, you know. But hey, Yahweh Shah, again, like I quoted, you know, hey, you know, this is for free, you know. And that's what, you know, it goes to show you how hypocritical Jake is, because you know Jake loves free shit. Jake loves free shit, you know. And here it is, this truth is free, you know. But niggas love them some Jesus Christ. They love them some Christ. They love them some Jesus the Christ. It's vexing, you know. I read Isaiah 51. What was I gonna get, man? I was gonna get this in Isaiah. Isaiah 28 and 15. And I really wanted the elder big brother, you know, Azariah to do his video first, but and you know, I wanted to, you know, land back off his video, but my spirit is the spirit was really on me to touch on this shit, because again, it goes to show you the mindset. 2/3 of our people, niggas love to bypass Yahweh Shai, and that's why we don't pray for these niggas. All right, we don't pray for these cats. These, at the end of the day, Jake, they don't want Yahweh Shai. They don't want the Lord. And at the end of the day, fuck them. All right, because hey, we want Yahweh Shai. We want to serve the Lord. We want to get the fuck out of here. We want Yahweh Shai. We want the king to reign, the king to reign. What did Yahweh Shai say? Hey, all those that don't want to worship me and serve me, bring them up and slay them before me. All right, we don't want that to be our lot. We want to serve the king. We want the king to reign on his throne. Listen, you know, because hey, at the end of the day, we're coming into kingship. All right, the king's domicile. All right, you know, it's our turn to reign. You know, the scriptures talk about, hey, let favor be shown to the wicked. Listen, Esau, he had his time. The other nations, they had their time. Eve, she had her time, and she's still in her time. Everyone has had their time. It's our time to play. It's our time to rule. All right? It's our time to rule. All right? Let me get this. In Isaiah 28. Because I was making a point, like I said, you know, all the perks that we're getting ready to inherit, that we're getting ready to receive. You know, we've been so beat down. We've been so, you know, humbled and humiliated. We've been so stripped. Hey, the Lord taught us a real lesson. This ass whooping has taught the elect a real lesson. All right. Because I said all that to say, at the end of the day, man, we just want, at the end of the day, what we want first and foremost above any and all things, man, we just want to see the king rule. All right, yeah, we're gonna have our women. We're gonna have all the perks, and we're gonna have all the extra shit. You know, and me, I say this from time to time. You know, hey, me personally, in the kingdom, in the new body, hey, brothers know me. Everyone knows me. You know, I like my drink. You know, I like my liquor. You know, you're gonna smell my shit from galaxies away, Lord willing. You know, so hey, just give me my wine. Hey, give me a few ribs, Lord willing, a few kids here and there. And hey, you know, I don't even need a palace. You know, hey, you just give me a tree, give me some shade, man, under a tree somewhere. You know, and you know, I'm just speaking because it's easier said than done. You know, listen, I'm just speaking. You know, because you know, Jake right now deals with a lot of stress. Jake deals with anxiety. Jake deals with trauma, PTSD. So it's easy to speak how we speak now, but listen, in the kingdom, we ain't gonna be thinking. Our mindset is gonna be totally changed. We're not gonna be thinking like this in the kingdom. It ain't gonna be no Surviving Babylon 6-part series. You know, it ain't gonna be none of that in the kingdom. You know, it's gonna be all good in the kingdom. So we you know, I speak like this. I'm just speaking now. You know, in the moment. You know, but like I said, man, hey, you just give me some wine, man. Give me a few wives. You know, give me a few children here and there. Give me a shade. Give me some shade under the tree somewhere, and I'll be good. As long as I see the king. I just want to see the king. I just want to see Yahushua get his. That's what we've been reduced to. We just want to see the king. Again, I said all that to say again, we just want Yahushua at this point. But that's the point that I'm making. These niggas, they don't want Yahushua to rule. They don't want Yahushua to reign. They don't want Yahushua to rule. They don't want Yahushua. That's the point that I'm making. Niggas are bypassing Yahushua for this fucking pink bitch. This fucking red devil, man. It's vexing. You know? Jake coming up. Can't be more than 12, 13 years old, man. Inquiring for the so-called white man. But here it is. Hey, we have access to Yahweh through Yahushua. And it's free. But here it is. Niggas are willing to say their soul. Niggas are willing to sell their bum. Pun intended. You know, literally. Sell their bum. Sell their ass, man. Pun intended. Pun intended. You know, for the so-called white man. But here it is, Yahushua. This is free. Jake is willing to bend over backwards and then some for the so-called white man. Fuck these niggas. I hate these. I hate these people. I hate these people. I'm talking about Jake, man. Hey, Esau, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's a devil. You know, you get to a point where you're spiritually matured to, hey, you don't get mad at the devil anymore. You know, you don't get mad at the devil for being the devil. Hell, you don't get mad at the snake for biting you. You know, you don't get mad at the snake for being a snake. You know, you don't get mad at the fox for being a fox. And the fox are known for being crafty, cunning, conniving. You know, you don't get mad at certain creatures for you know, being what they are, who they are, what they are. You know, what their nature is. You don't get mad. So you don't get mad at Esau for being who he is, the devil. It's fucking Jake is the problem. Jake is a fucking problem. Like, god damn. But let me get this in Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28. I'm starting at 14. Wherefore hear the word of Yahweh, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Man, I'm gonna read on. It says, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And you see, because again, this is the problem. All right, 2/3 of our people, they've made this agreement, this pact, this covenant. And when you go into this covenant, what this covenant is it goes into a cutting in the flesh, which ultimately is going to lead to the MOTB, which is in a cutting in the flesh, essentially. All right, that insertable device that's going to be implanted under the skin. All right, you know, that's going to be the ultimate form of what they call selling your soul. All right, selling your soul to the devil. All right, and it shows. You know, 2/3 of our people, they're gone. They're fully given over. You know, it's just a matter of it playing out to its fullest extent, which is going to be, again, that MOTB. But 2/3 are already gone. They're already sold out. Esau, he's not worried about 2/3. You know, that little bugged out, boneheaded, nappy-headed Negro boy that came up before the camp inquiring for the so-called white man. Esau, he's not worried about him. And niggas like him. All right, niggers and niggerettes like him. All right, he's not worried about them. They're already gone. You know, matter of fact, when you go into that, because again, these people, man, they bypass Yahushua. All right, and that says a lot. Get into these words, what these words mean. All right, and that's what I'm going to get into, this word bypass. The word bypass, it says a road passing around a town or its center to provide an alternative route for through traffic. And some of the similar words, it says a detour, a diversion, and a detour and diversion. Because what do the scriptures tell us? Yahushua, he's the way, right? He's the door. You know, and my saying is one of my many sayings, you know, because when it comes to what it boils down to ultimately is, as our apostles have taught us, this thing of ours, it's about suffering. So with that being said, you know, I just keep in my mind that, hey, listen, there's no way around it but through it. There's no way around it but through it. We can only go through it, you know. And again, who's standing there at the center of it all? It's Yahushua. He's the door. All right, there is no other way. There's no way around it. We can only go through it, you know. And the scriptures talk about that, men creeping in unawares. Like, how did you get in here? You know. Reading on. Well, more of these similar words for bypass, because again it mentioned the detour. And we see that a lot, right? Jake, they have alternative motives. You know, alternative motives. You know, as a matter of fact, that might be that's the spirit. Because another similar word is alternative route. That's the spirit. Alternative route. You know, like I said, Jake has alternative motives. You know, because you know Jake, man, they eventually, man, you know, well, they lose hope. They lose sight. They forget their first love. You know, they forget why they were called into this in the first place. You know, they essentially overall they forget Yahushua, because again he's the door. He's the way. You know, and Lord willing, I'm going to make it more and more of a habit of exalting Yahushua, man, because we're in the time. It's always been about Yahweh. Yahweh Shema Shai, you know. It's always been about Yahweh Shema Shai. But how do we worship Yahweh? It's through Yahweh Shai. Plenty of scriptures come to mind. You know, I mentioned that that diversion, right? You got another similar word is a relief road, a roundabout way. So you see, because you know Jake is looking for comfort, Jake is looking for love, and it's in all the wrong places. Again, Yahweh Shai, he's the porter, he's the door, he's the way. But Jake, they're trying to find, you know, Jake tries to fill that void in all the wrong places, and especially when it comes to fucking Jesus Christ. Fuck Jesus Christ. I'm so sick of this cracker, man. I hate Jesus Christ. I hate Esau. I hate all you 2/3 that want to continue to. This shit is vexing. This shit is vexing. God damn. You know. Again, man, Jesus, the Christ, has done nothing for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, but keep us down, docile, weak. It's done nothing but keep us in slavery. That's why this truth is such a problem. It's such an issue because, hey, coming back into the remembrance of who we are, and not only that, a part of remembering who we are, that means, it means remembering who the enemy is. There's a lot of Jake, they forgot that too. Who the enemy is. Because you got Jake walking around here holding hands with the so-called white man, talking about love, forgive, forget. Oh, slavery, that was a thing in the past. And man, fuck Jake, man. That's why I don't know what it is. You know, for the most part, I'm a real cool, calm, and collected brother. But last night at camp, man, I was thinking about that shit all night. I was meditating on that shit all night. Boneheaded, nappy-headed ass Jake coming up and inquiring for the so-called white man, bypassing the Yahweh Shai for the so-called white man. And we're supposed to pray for these niggas? You know, and I'm probably going to get comments or whatever. You know, because, again, the Jake couldn't have been more than 12, 13. But, you know, you got 2/3, man. Hey, man, you got to leave the kids out of it, man. Man, fuck these kids. Fuck these women. Listen, the scriptures go into how, hey, the Lord's going to be dropping bodies. It's going to be old men, old women. To the young men, to the young women, to the babies. The Lord's not biased. I'm not biased. I don't give a fuck about none of these people. Unless you're the elect, I don't give a fuck about none of these people. You know, and I'll say through the Spirit, the Lord has been kind of forcing me to, you know, just, hey, chill, you know. Chill. Because me personally, man, even when it comes to family members, loved ones, man, I don't give a fuck about none of these people. You know, hey, listen, I don't curse my father and my mother only because the scriptures tell us not to curse our father and our mother. We're not supposed to, you know, put curse up on our father and our mother. You know, and if it wasn't for that, hey, you know, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for these laws, hey, you know, if it was, and that's why, you know, we have these ordinances because, hey, I have nothing but the utmost respect for my father and my mother, you know. But if it wasn't for this truth, hey, that's why these laws, man, these ordinances of the Lord, man, hey, they keep us in check, they keep us on point. Because like I said, man, the Lord's been forcing me to, hey, just chill, because I don't give a fuck about none of these people. You know, I don't outside of brothers, I don't love anyone. I might have love for you, you know, but outside of brothers, you know, I don't love None of these people. And I'm talking about kids. None of these people. I don't give a fuck about none of these people. But like I said, you know, the Lord's been forcing me to, hey, just you know, because I would intentionally, you know, keep people away. I'm just in my own world, man. I'm just, you know. But the Lord, you know, the Lord has it to where, hey, you know, just the Lord keeping certain people around. And it's just like, all right, you know, this is the Lord. So, you know, I'll deal whatever, you know, the Lord has his ways. But other than that, man, hey, you know, fuck these people. Because again, we're supposed to pray for these people. And like I said, it takes a lot for me to get to a certain point, but I was meditating on that shit all night during the camp. Like, man, this little nigga really came up and bypassed the house shot to fucking for the so-called white man, for this fucking Jesus the Christ. Fuck Jesus Christ. I hate Jesus Christ. So I'm so sick of Jake. I'm just sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of all this shit, and I speak for all of us, you know, the hopefully elect. I'm sick of this shit. Tired of all this shit. You know, Jake, man, they don't want the Lord, you know. They don't want the Lord. They don't want Yahushua. They want Christ. And it's like, let them have it. That's why we're not in the business of persuading anyone. Let them have it. They want Christ. Let them have Christ. Let them have Jesus the Christ. You know, and that's why, hey, we're praying, hey, Lord, remember us. When you read how our forefathers taught, or how they spoke, how they prayed, hey, Lord, remember us. Let me grab this. I've talked enough. I rumbled enough. Let me grab this. Because like I just read in Isaiah 28, you know, these people, and throughout the scriptures, hey, 2/3, they choose death rather than life, like the scriptures say. They choose death rather than life. And that's what Jesus brings. That's what it breeds. It breeds death. Like I said, Jesus has done nothing for our people but keep us docile, weak. It's done nothing but keep us in slavery. It's done nothing but keep us in an inferior type of attitude. You know? So, fuck Jesus Christ. Alright? And I'm sure, you know, the other big bro, Azarian, he's gonna do his video, you know. Like I said, I really wanted to wait on him to do his, but you know, niggas gotta get cursed out, from the old to the young. You know, and like I said, at the time, it was just me and the big bro, and that's why, you know, you know, if it was just me there, I would have. Well, I can easily see what I would have done, but because I probably would have cursed Lil Jake out. Hey man, I would have, like the one scene off of Friday, you know, when you had the little young Jake kicking down the trash can, right? You know, and you had Craig, Smokey, you know, they finally got his ass and they started whooping his ass, you know. That would have been my ass, man. I would have grabbed this nigga by the neck. This young Jake, you know, whooped his ass, man. You know, that's the beauty of the brotherhood, cause goddamn, you know. But cause like I just read here, you know, Jake, they made a covenant with death, and like the scriptures say, they choose death rather than life, you know. And that's what Jesus Christ, that whole Christianity spirit, that's what it breeds. It brings death. This whole black culture, and again, that's why when it comes to the 2/3, I don't refer to them as so-called. No, they black. Let them be black. Let them be Hispanic. Let them be Latino. Let them be Seminole. Let them be. All right. You know. Let them be. Let them be black. They want to be black. Let them be black people. We had a bug out Jake a couple of weeks ago talking about I'm a real nigga. No, you a real nigga, all right. You're a real nigga. Cause you see other camps, they try to They'll try to, nah, brother, you an Israelite. Nah, you a nigga. You're a real nigga, all right. Nigga got one tooth in his mouth talking about, so I'm a real nigga. No, you're a real nigga, all right. Have at it. You got it. You got it, cuz. Jake, they want to be black. But this is what Jesus Christ breeds. That whole Christianity, that whole spirit, that's what it breeds. It brings nigga culture, black culture. So y'all got it. Let me grab this. The time is 1:44. That's Judges. That's Judges 10 in verse. Because like I said, man, pay attention to how our forefathers, how they spoke. You know, because at the end of the day, fuck these 2/3. All right, and that includes women and children. All right, you gotta leave the kids out of it, brother. No, fuck these women, fuck these kids, fuck them too. And I don't typically refer to children because the correct term is children. All right, a kid is an animal. You know, it's a you know, like a kid goat. You know, but to these niggas, yeah, they kids. All right, but as far as us, you know, our children, that's the correct term. It's children. All right, stop using that term kids. All right, my kid, my kids. No, is the correct term is children. But fuck all that. All right, the Lord don't give a fuck about these women, these kids, men, women, and children. If you're not of the elect, hey, the Lord, y'all gonna be getting got. And that's why we can't wait to start seeing judgment, man. We can't wait. Jacob's trouble is needed. Because, hey, speaking of this past Saturday, well, last night, you had a bunch of boneheaded ass, unruly ass children, man. Just downtown for no reason. Like, where are your parents at? Just being a bunch of boneheaded ass Negroes. Just being a bunch of unruly children. Like, it's like, where y'all parents at? Y'all supposed to be home, you know? Ain't y'all got church in the morning? Some shit, you know? Judges chapter 10. Judges chapter 10, verse 10. And the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh, saying, we have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our power and also served Balaam. And Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, and the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines, the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Mononites, did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. So you see, listen, the Lord's getting tired of you niggas, man. And we know because we're tired of you niggas. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to get to a certain point. But all last night through that camp and parts of today, I had to, I reminded the elder big bro, hey man, don't forget to do a video on this little boneheaded, nappy-headed ass nigga boy. Oof. I had to remind the bro, man, don't forget to do a video on this nigga, man. Cause I was waiting. I wanted to, you know, I want bro to do his video first, but I couldn't help it. I had to speak on this, you know. Because again, we know the Lord's tired of these boneheaded ass Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Because we're tired, man. We're sick of seeing this shit, you know. It says, verse 13 again, yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. So the Lord's tired of you niggas, man. The Lord's tired of these niggas and niggerettes, like the elder Amawanga Bar says. You know, it says, go and cry unto the gods which ye have served. Slakia. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. So, as we've seen a perfect example with this niggerette, Sonia Macy, if I said that right, here it is, How you gonna call the cops? How you gonna call the so-called white man, and you end up going to the spiritual realm? You know, you end up getting shot. You know, a perfect example of what happens when you forsake Yahweh Shema Shah. You want to call on Jesus, all right? Calling on the name of Jesus, the name of Jeebus. Sonya Macy is a perfect example. And that's going to be a lot of you Israelites, man, that you can't shake off this Jesus juice. You can't shake off this so-called white man. You just can't. You can't let him go. And listen, the scriptures talk about, hey, we meditate terror as far as what we're going to do in the kingdom to these other nations. Hey, one of the things that I meditate on is, hey, let me see in the kingdom when it comes to any of my slaves, if I even, because listen, even uttering the name Jesus in the kingdom, boy, listen. Ooh-wee. If I even see anyone, any of my slaves, even trying to utterly, slightly utter the names, try to utter the names as, boy, I'm off with your head, boy. I'm gonna put that iron on your ass, boy. If you look like you're about to utter the names of, ooh, boy, in the kingdom, you best not look like you about to utter the names of, ooh, boy, in the kingdom, boy, ooh. You better not look like you're about to utter those names of those idols, those false gods in the kingdom, boy. Ooh wee. Verse 15 is the point. Judges 10 and 15. It says, and the children of Israel said unto Yahweh, we have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day. So you see, the point being that, hey, this is the mindset of the elect. At the end of the day, it's all about the elect. All right, listen. At the end of the day, hey, fuck 2/3. All right, they don't want to be saved. She don't want to be saved, right? Don't save her. 2/3, they don't want to be saved. 2/3, they don't want Yahushua. That's why, like I said here, deliver us only. Deliver us only. Talking about the hopeful elect. All right. The scriptures talk about, hey, we don't worry about the ungodly, man. Fuck them. They don't want to be saved. They don't want the Lord. That's what I was saying earlier. They don't want Yahushua. But to the hopeful elect, hey, Lord, remember us. Fuck these people. Fuck these people. Lord, remember us. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, don't feel bad to, hey, Lord, remember me. You know, remember me. I'm trying, Lord. I'm trying to serve you. You know, like, Lord, these people, they don't want to serve you. They don't want you, Lord. You know, hey, we're asking for the Lord's mercy. These people, they don't want the Lord's mercy. They don't want the Lord. They don't want his mercy. So fuck them. All right. So that's why, hey, there's nothing wrong with having the mindset, Lord, remember me. I'm trying, Lord. Deal with me according to the sincerity of my heart. Versus these people, they're full of shit, Lord. Remember me, Baba Gashan. All right. But like I said, that shit pissed me off, man. You know, that shit vexed my spirit. Had a young Jake coming up and just bypass Yahushua to inquire for the so-called white man, to inquire for this fucking pink devil, man, this pink bitch, this red Hebrew Edomite. Fuck Jake. They don't want the Lord, so fuck him. Because by default, hey, you're enemy to the Lord, you're enemy to us. All right, but I've rambled enough. Lord willing, you know, Salakia, you know, some videos, you know, they got to be longer than others, whatever the case may be. But the Spirit is always going to do what the Spirit is going to do, you know. But overall, I hope the message was clear. It came through, and I hope this was edifying. You know, giving all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. And shalom to you, hopefully elect. Lord willing, until the next one.